My name is Lindy Roster. By the age of 35, I had built my sanctuary, a sleek, modern apartment in San Antonio's Pearl District. Every cabinet, every floorboard, every carefully chosen light fixture was a testament to my hustle. It was my masterpiece, valued at over $300,000, and it was the one thing in my life my family couldn't tarnish. But to understand why they thought they could just take it, you have to understand the hierarchy I was born into. I was raised mostly by my grandmother. Her house smelled like cinnamon and old books, and her love was unconditional. When my parents moved back with my baby sister, I was thrilled. Finally, a complete family. But the dynamic was set in stone before I even understood what it was. My sister was the sun, and I was a distant moon, reflecting her light. I remember my 12th birthday. It was a few weeks after my grandmother, my rock, had passed away. The grief was a physical weight on my chest. I got a used book and a card. For my sister's birthday that same year, a rented bounce house, a towering cake, a room full of presents. I sat in the corner, trying to be happy for her, while my own heart was shattered into dust. The excuses were always the same. When I asked why she got a brand new cherry red convertible at 16 while I rode a bike to my part-time job, my father said, "She needs it more. You're fine." My mother would just nod. "You're strong, Lindsay. You don't need as much help." They were programming me, teaching me that my needs were always secondary, that my success was expected, and her needs were emergencies. I channeled all that hurt into my work. I became an interior designer. I bought this dilapidated apartment and poured my soul into it. It was my rebellion, my proof. Meanwhile, my sister's life, paved with my parents' gold, started to crack. A failed boutique, a messy divorce, $50,000 in debt. I thought I was safe. I was wrong. The call came a few weeks ago, a family meeting, at my apartment. My stomach tightened the second they all walked in. My parents with their serious faces, my sister with a performance-level look of weary struggle, and her two kids, Ethan and Mia, who immediately treated my living room like a Chuck E. Cheese. My father didn't waste time. He cleared his throat, a sound I'd learned to dread. "Lindsay," he said, his voice leaving no room for argument, "your sister and the children need stability. We think you should give her this apartment." The air left my lungs. Give. Not loan. Not help her find a similar one. Give. My own home. I felt my fingers turn cold. "This is my home," I managed to say, my voice a fragile thread. "I worked for this." My mother chimed in, her tone dripping with that familiar, infuriating condescension. "You're doing fine, dear. You can find another place. It's for the grandchildren." And then it happened. While I was reeling, trying to process this nuclear-level betrayal, I saw Ethan. He had a red marker, and he was drawing on my wall, my pristine, cream-colored wall. I froze, my eyes darting to my sister. "Stop him!" I screamed in my head. She saw it. She met my gaze, gave a tiny, dismissive shrug, and looked away. "Kids will be kids," she murmured. In that moment, that single, silent shrug, I saw the last 20 years of my life flash before my eyes. Every hand-me-down, every dismissed achievement, every pat on the head. They didn't just want my apartment. They wanted to erase me. After they left, I scrubbed that red mark until my fingers were raw. It was permanent, a tattoo of their disrespect. The invasion didn't stop. My sister started showing up unannounced, letting herself in with the spare key I'd foolishly given my parents. I'd come home to find my kitchen trashed, my rug stained, my peace violated. It felt like she was marking her territory, desensitizing me to the loss of my own space. But then I found the clue that changed everything. A business card tucked between my couch cushions. Donna Clark, real estate agent. My blood ran cold. This wasn't about needing a roof over her head. This was about liquidating my asset to pay off her debt. I called Donna, my voice shaking only a little. I pretended to be my sister following up on the appraisal, and she confirmed it. Yes, Miss Foster. The appraisal for your Pearl District apartment is complete. We can list it as soon as you're ready. She wasn't just asking for my home, Dot. She was planning to sell it out from under me. The audacity was breathtaking. I needed backup. I went to my Aunt Martha, the family's black sheep truth teller, and she dropped a bomb that made the inheritance scam look like a petty crime. When your grandmother died, Martha said, her voice low and angry, she left $20,000 for you girls. Your parents meant to split it. But your sister convinced them you were too independent, that you didn't need it, that you'd be fine. She took a sip of her coffee, letting the venom of the words sink in. They gave her the entire sum, every last penny. She blew it on a convertible in a weekend in Vegas. I sat there numb. They hadn't just favored her. They had actively participated in robbing me. This was a pattern, a pathology, and I was the designated victim. It was time to stop being a victim. I went to my friend Kevin, a property law expert. I showed him everything. The debt, the appraisal, the stolen inheritance. His face was grim. She's desperate, Lindsay. Desperate people are dangerous. My first move was absolute. I changed the locks. The sound of that new deadbolt sliding into place was the first peaceful sound I'd heard in weeks. But that was just a barrier. I needed a fortress. Kevin and his attorney friend, Virginia Lane, helped me create one. We transferred the ownership of my apartment into an irrevocable family trust, with the three of us as co-trustees. It was legally untouchable. A ghost of a smile touched my lips for the first time in months. Try and take it now. With my home secured, it was time for the main event, the reckoning. I invited my parents and my sister to a neutral, quiet restaurant, the site of the final battle. I brought my dossier, the financial report, the trust documents, the memory of that stolen $20,000 burning a hole in my heart. They were all there, Dot. My sister already had that smug, settled look, like she was here to receive her prize. I didn't wait for the drinks to arrive. Narrator. Dialogue. Voice steady and cold. I know you had my apartment appraised, Sarah. You're not moving in. You're planning to sell it to cover your $50,000 debt. I slid Kevin's report across the polished table. Dot. It sounded like a gunshot in the quiet room. It's all there, in black and white. I turned to my parents. Their confusion was infuriating. They still didn't get it. Father. Lindsay, what is this? We're here to talk as a family. Family? I let out a bitter laugh. Like when you gave her my $20,000 inheritance from Grandma? The one you were supposed to split between us? Mother. How did you... That was different. You were so strong. I was a child. My voice cracked, but I didn't care. The dam was breaking. You taught me that my strength was a reason to neglect me, that her weakness was a reason to reward her. You raised a predator, and you always handed her the prey. Well, I'm done being the prey. I leaned forward, my voice dropping to a venomous whisper. Your kids deserve a mother who doesn't try to steal from her own sister, but you're just a thief. A common thief who uses her own children as props. I placed the trust documents on the table. The final nail in the coffin. My apartment isn't a trust. It's legally protected. You can't have it. You will never have it. This ends now. No. I stood up, my chair scraping back. The entire restaurant was watching, but I felt no shame. Only power. I am done calming down. I am done sacrificing. I am done with all of you. I looked at each of them. My sister, seething. My mother, crying. My father, defeated. Consider this me, finally being fine, on my own. Don't contact me again. Visual. Lindsay turns and walks out of the restaurant. The camera stays on the devastated family at the table as she leaves them behind. Walking away from them that night felt like shedding a skin I'd been trapped in for 35 years. I breathed in the San Antonio air, and it felt clean. For the first time, it was mine. The fallout was swift and satisfying. My parents, forced to see the truth, finally cut my sister off. No more rent, no more bailouts. She had to get a real job, face her massive debt alone. I heard through the grapevine that it's a struggle, and I felt nothing. No guilt. No schadenfreude. Just peace. My parents tried to call Dot. They left voicemails, full of apologies and pleas for family unity. I deleted them. An apology after the fact is just words. It doesn't repaint the walls your grandchildren vandalized. It doesn't return the inheritance you stole. Some bridges need to be burned for you to see the light on the other side. My career skyrocketed. That hotel contract in the Pearl District? It was my masterpiece. My home is truly my sanctuary again. I finally had the space, physically and emotionally, to thrive. Narrator. So what's the moral of this story? It's not that revenge is sweet, though I won't lie, the look on their faces was deeply, profoundly satisfying. The real lesson is about boundaries. For years, I believed that family meant unconditional sacrifice. That love was a one-way street where I was always the one giving. I was wrong. Love shouldn't cost you your home, your savings, or your sense of self. Protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's survival. And sometimes the most powerful revenge isn't about hurting them back. It's about building a life so secure, so joyful, so completely yours, that their attempts to break it simply bounce off. It's about locking your doors, both literal and metaphorical, and throwing away the key. I built my fortress, not just out of brick and mortar, but out of self-respect. And no one, not even family, can ever take that from me again. If you've ever had to fight for what's rightfully yours against the people who were supposed to protect you, I see you. I was you. Share your story in the comments below, and remember it's never too late to build your own fortress.